What's up, KGS Headmaster here, ready for the live quiz. I've got a couple of Doctor Who looks going on, as you probably tell. There's your favourite kind of Matt Smith, you know, that he loves a bow tie, little fez. I was doing some Tommy Cooper earlier. This is more Matt Smith Doctor Who than it is Tommy Cooper, but I got the long scarf as well of Tom Baker, as I said, my childhood favourite. So that's my Doctor Who look. How long it will last, I don't know. Last week's travel look lasted a while, but you know, at some point the dark glasses and hat have to come off. It's a bit dark in here, I'm afraid. Let me just put some lights on to kind of brighten it. Or maybe it's my laptop. Maybe it's me. There we go. That's better. I can see myself more clearly now. Of course, I can't see any of you, but I can tell you're out there. I've got people watching you. We've got Mr. Crow, who's got an important message today. Ian Holm, dear old Ian Holm, who was a fine British actor, appeared in a couple of great sci-fi films. Mr. Crow has pointed out. You guys can see the chat there. Fifth Element, which is a brilliant film. I've mentioned that before. But also he was in Alien, and he passed away today, Ian Holm. So rest in peace. Dear Ian Holm passed away with his carers and with his family. So, okay, please. Hello, good to see you. Johnny Vaughan in with the chat as well. Fantastic to see you, Johnny. Hope things are good over in the States. Don't know what kind of weather you've got. We've had it funny over here. It's still been warm, pretty muggy earlier on when I popped out for my kind of lunchtime stroll. But the rain's been pouring down. In fact, Johnny, if you're watching, you'll recognize the fez. Nelson, great to see you. We've got a few other people in there. We've got a like already. Thank you for someone that's liked it before they even heard any of the questions. Should we get going? Sci-fi quiz, got a few different categories for you. What have we got? Sci-fi film is category 1. Sci-fi TV in the UK is category 2. Sci-fi TV in the US is category 3. You did indeed give well, you gave it to Alice, actually. I borrowed this from my oldest daughter as part of the props for today. You know, it's like in lockdown, you just scour the house. You're not going to, if you can't get it on Amazon and you haven't got it in the house, it's not happening. So basically, given that I think about these things on a Thursday night come Friday morning, I'm even too late for Amazon Prime delivery. So if it's not in the house, so the fez came from upstairs. And then we've got sci-fi villains to finish off, ending your week hopefully on a high. Prizes for the winners. If you're in school, you can get a headmaster's accommodation. If you're out of school, I'll think of something equally appropriate and enlivening to enrich your lives. Hi, Izzy. Got a friend today. Izzy, you have a friend every day. What you mean you've got a friend helping you today, which is wonderful. Please introduce us to that friend. Tell them he, she, they're more than welcome. Great of them to join us. But don't forget, you've got friends every day of the week. Hot and humid in the States. Anyway, let's get cracking. Here we go. Round 1, question 1. And to all of you lurkers out there, all of you doing the quiz but too shy to say, come on, have a chat, join in, let us know you're there. Here we go. Which film directed by Steven Spielberg? Good to see you, Joe, by the way. Great to see you. And Dad's in as well. So between you should do well. Which film directed by Steven Spielberg stars Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore, and Robert McNaughton as the 3 siblings? And I suspect the 2 male names you'll be thinking, but you'll get the female name and go, okay. Which film directed by Steven Spielberg stars Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore, and Robert McNaughton playing 3 siblings? Now, for those of you who are thinking, I'm not sure whether it's a little bit of a clue. It's one of the children's sci-fi movies. One of the main characters is called Elliot. Bit of a clue. Okay. Adrian, you're Izzy's friends. Good to see you. Adrian in out. Adrian T. Okay, Plays has got some parental backup. Oh, Johnny saying don't give it away. Johnny, I'm just thinking about some of our younger brethren who will be thinking, come on, give me a clue, sir. Where's the multiple choice? I haven't heard from Tessie yet, so I'm sure she'll be coming in. And Gemma and a few others will be saying, sir, where's the multiple choice? You've been doing that recently. Here we go. Question 2. Which 1982 sci-fi hit, and there's your clue, it's an absolute hit. Not the word hit, just the fact it's a brilliant, brilliant film. So I'm telling you where I rank it. Which 1982 sci-fi movie is set in 2019 Los Angeles? Tess, I know, yeah. Tess, good to see you there. Stick with it. I promise you'll get some. If you need clues, just ask and we can get Johnny to close his ears. Here we go. So which 1982 film is set in 2019 Los Angeles? Here we go. Question 3. The United States spacecraft Discovery 1 is a fictional spaceship featured in which famous 1960s sci-fi film? So if you didn't get any of that bit at the beginning, if you're thinking the 1960s sci-fi film, what was the biggest sci-fi movie in the 1960s? The United States spacecraft Discovery 1 is a fictional spaceship featured in which famous 1960s sci-fi movie? Question 4. Pause me if you need a moment. Tell me if you need anything repeated, but we'll do 10 questions again and then 10 answers. I think you mean Mary Poppins, Tessa, but it isn't Mary Poppins. I'm sorry. Big 1960s sci-fi movie. Big classical music. Thus Spake Zarathustra, I think. Okay. So from one of my earlier videos in the week. Question 4. For which film series is George Lucas known as the creator? For which film series? So this is a relatively easy one for those of you who know it. Tough for those of you that don't. Those of you that know this series, this genre will be going, God, make it harder. Those of you who don't know, will be saying, George Lucas, who's he? Which film series is George Lucas famous for creating? And question 5. This is one I haven't mentioned. Okay, so this is one that's a great sci-fi movie. Just didn't really pop up in my chat this week. But you might know it from, I'm pretty sure it won an Oscar, or at least the director won an Oscar for another movie, another big movie, completely different. Which James Cameron movie, set in the year 2154, features the location Pandora? Which James Cameron film set in 2154 features the location of Pandora? And it's not going to help that I haven't mentioned it, is it? It's going to be one of those, say, well, at least mention it in your chat, sir. Okay, questions 1 to 5, all done. Anybody need any repeating? I'm just going to grab my water briefly. And everyone okay? There you go. Cheers, everyone. Water in the afternoon. Keep going. I need to get a mat now. I'm going to get told off if I don't put this down on a mat. There we go. I'm expecting a message soon to tell me my tie isn't straight, or my fez isn't straight, or the scarf's going to keep me too warm. I normally get a message from the family. They avoid saying you look ridiculous. They just give me advice on how to look less ridiculous, which is very kind of them. Tess, congratulations. Oh, now IKR, what's that? I know. Oh, correct. See, I should know all these little abbreviations. TBF, TBH, LMO, is that one? Oh, in my humble opinion, IMHO. Question 2 again, please. Oh, I know. Yeah, thank you, Tess. Thanks you, Adrian. Everybody else is on the beat except me. But of course, Johnny, yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Right, IKR. There we go. I've learned some new words this week. Beef. Yeah, when you got trouble with somebody, it's beef. And tea, as in gossip. What's the tea? I've no idea why it's called beef and tea. I've just learned that this week, and you'll all be out there going, yeah, of course. Okay, IKR. Anyway, question 2. Which 1982 film is set in 2019 Los Angeles? It's one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. Made in 1982, set in 2019 LA. Okay, let's go for round 2, UK television sci-fi. Okay, I've given you a clue to this one at the beginning. This was quite deliberate. Which doctor proclaimed bow ties are cool? Which of the Doctor Who's, which actor proclaimed that bow ties are cool? I should have had some squash or something, shouldn't I? I should have had some colour in that rather than just plain water and claimed it was some famous drink from another planet. Although you wouldn't have believed me, but it would have been fun. I just think it's very boring having water all of a sudden. Question 2. Which Doctor Who female companion, and there's been a lot of great companions, male and female over the years, and some electronic as well, Just checking the house. Good to see you. Blue Milk would have been good, Johnny. Yeah, I could have claimed that could have had a link to one of the movies. I'm going to be careful not to say anything. Blue Milk, Green Milk. Yeah, absolutely. Milk with a bit of colouring. That would have been great, wouldn't it? I just don't think of these things until I've started. Then once I've started, it's too late. Which Doctor Who companion had her own spin-off show on CBBC? It was a double-barreled first name. There's your clue. Been a lot of definitely Blue Milk from OK, but yeah. Guys, you know, now you've said it, it's so obvious, and but if I do it next week, it might not be relevant to the theme, but I'm going to have to put more work into next week's theme, aren't I? I mean, I'm starting to dress up. I'm going to have to get some more props and do a bit more work. Let's see. The family have just arrived. Might have to. Multiple choice. Oh, okay. Tess asking for multiple choice for this one because it might be a little bit before your time. Is it Vanessa May? Is it Sarah Jane? Or is it Louisa May? Vanessa May, Sarah Jane, or Louisa May? There you go. There's 3 choices, Tess. I'm not doing that for every question. So there we go. Who had her own spin-off show on the CBBC? It was a good one, actually. It's one of the better spin-offs there's been. Question 3. Now, he did get a mention, this guy. In fact, he got a quote. That's how important he was this week. Who was the first Doctor? Who played the first Doctor? Oh, this one's multiple choice. There we go. Was it William Hartnell? Was it Colin Baker? Was it Patrick Troughton? William Hartnell, Colin Baker, Patrick Troughton. At least one of them in there is a big sideways, you know, thinking, oh, no, don't go that. Michelle's in. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for the replies. Thank you for the comments. How are you doing on the quiz? How many points have you got so far? Don't tell me. Wait till the end of this round. We'll do it out of 10. But great to see you. Just chess. I have no idea. Bye. You know, you never know. Even if you get 1 out of 10, it's the effort that counts. And if you can't make the effort, then who knows? Here we go. Which 1960s sci-fi program on ITV set in the 2060s? Which 60s program on ITV set in the 60s title sequence features an often quoted countdown? Wow, that was a complicated question. Basically, which TV series in the UK sci-fi has an often quoted countdown? Michaela, don't worry about it. Honestly, it's one of those weeks when I don't think anyone's going to do well. So actually getting a couple right might be okay. I'll give you a clue to this one. It starts off, I'll give you the first word. 5. That's how it starts. My dad booked one of that doctor's assistants. Ah, okay. So you're talking about the doctor. Yeah, okay, that doctor. Very good, very good, very good. Countdown test. That would be a good guess, but it's not. It's one of the shows I've mentioned. Okay, and numbers are involved. I think I told you about a toy I had when I was younger. Here we go. Question 5, so the last one of section 2. Which 1981 TV series based on a 1979 novel by Douglas Adams is well known for the number 42? Apparently 42 is the meaning of life. Which 1981 TV series? This is probably one of the most, again, I didn't get a mention this week. I'm not a massive fan, but it's probably one of the most well-known, famous, infamous sci-fi TV series of all time. It's a brilliant book. Yeah, is well known for the number 42. Any needing repeating? And if not, we'll go through the answers. See how we're getting on. Sorry, Johnny, the author went to your college. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't remembered that. In fact, I maybe didn't know it. But OK Plays has just said my mum retires. Sorry, mum. Number 6, of course. So which doctor proclaimed bow ties are cool? Which Doctor Who was that? Which Doctor Who dressed up? Fez, jacket, pocket square, bow tie, rather natty. Here we go. Answers. Number one. Oh. Tess, I just cut out for you. I don't know about anyone else. Have I cut out entirely? Am I still there? Someone drop. I mean, I'm still live at the moment. If somebody can drop me a comment, I won't start giving out the answers until I've heard from somebody that I'm still live and flowing. So if somebody can just type in a comment to say, yes, you're still there, still here. So it might just be you, Tess, sorry. But we'll recap for you at the end. Don't worry, you won't miss anything. Here we go. Oh, we're back. Brilliant, Tess. Well, we're waiting for you, Tessa. As my most loyal follower, we're waiting for you. Here we go. Question one. The Steven Spielberg movie with the siblings is E.T. Extraterrestrial, E.T., Elliot, Drew Barrymore, probably one of our most famous kind of child actor role. Question two. The 1982 movie set in 2019 LA is Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. Question three. The 1960s movie with the spacecraft Discovery 1 is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Question four. George Lucas is famous for creating the Star Wars movies. And question five. The James Cameron film set in 2154 in the location of Pandora is Avatar. And I think that's where the whole blue milk reference came in. Blue milk, Avatar, people were on top of that. I don't know if that would have helped everybody. I think it helps those in the know. I think if you know, you just know you know, and you know that you're confirming you know with somebody else who knows. But for those who don't know, they still don't know. Brilliant. Here we go. And question six. Which Doctor proclaimed bow ties are cool? It was the 11th Doctor. It was Matt Smith. One of my favorites. Not my absolute favorite, but he's right up there. Really like him. Oh, blue milk is Star Wars. Sorry, it was a George Lucas ref. Okay. See, that's why I know these things, but I'm not as big a fan as some of you. I thought I was thinking of the blue people. Yeah, of course, blue milk. Yeah. Green milk in The Last Jedi. Yeah. God, you guys know your stuff. I'm going to get a divided crowd this week, aren't I? I'm going to get those people getting all of them right, and those people saying haven't got a clue. Just Chess, Just Check, or whatever they were called, who said can't do it. Here we go. So we had 11th Doctor. The Doctor Who companion with her own spin-off was Sarah Jane. It was the Sarah Jane Mysteries. Nelson, you met Matt Smith once. I like Matt Smith. I've seen him in quite a few plays as well and other things. And I've kind of done the stage door routine of getting autographs and things like that. So I've kind of been in his presence, but meeting, saying, hello, how are you? No. So I'm very jealous, Nelson. With K9, absolutely. So Sarah Jane, when she was the companion, the K9 was the dog. K9, you get it, the reference. It was a robot dog. But in the Sarah Jane Mysteries, she was great, actually. She passed away not that many years ago. So actually, she was a great actress and well renowned for that role and also for resurrecting it on CBBC. It was kind of I think it was my daughter's kind of entry into the Doctor Who genre. So it did a great job. Who was the first Doctor? It was William Hartnell. The one that was throwing you there was Colin Baker, because it's not Colin Baker, it's Tom Baker. Colin Baker is the newsreader. And it wasn't Patrick Troughton, he who played the penny whistle. So it was William Hartnell, who we quoted this week with the slightly long white hair. Great actor. The 60s TV show with the famous countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds, I'll go. It was Thunderbirds. That's the famous countdown. And the 1981 TV show based on the novel with the number 42 being the meaning of life is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So E.T., Blade Runner, Space Odyssey, 2001, Star Wars, Avatar, Matt Smith, Sarah Jane, William Hartnell, Thunderbirds, and 42. Scores on the doors, people. How are we doing? Be brave. If you've got 1 out of 10 or none out of 10, just call it how it is. If you've got 10 out of 10, don't wait. Don't be shy. Don't play it down. If you've got them all right, then you're in control. Oh, here we go. Okay, place 8. Izzy 10. Johnny 9. See, I didn't think. I thought it was going to be really. Nelson 7. Joe's got 10 with Dad's help. Quite right. Tess 3. One more mark, and that is my goal. So if we get 4, you kind of hit that benchmark. Well, you won last week, didn't you, on Sherlock Holmes? So you've got to have a big week and then a down week to let other people have a go. That's just fair, isn't it? Absolutely. Gemma's on 5. Stu's on Mr. Grove's on 10. Michaela on 3. So it's Michaela and Tess who are the strongest players holding up the league of everyone else. Of course, then we've got some really top people. Oh, last week was travel. Sorry, so it was 2 weeks ago you won, Tessa. Sorry, you're right. Last week was travel when I was wearing, yeah. The weeks just fly by during lockdown, don't they? So we've got some 10s, we've got some 9s, we've got some 8s, got some 7s, got some 5s, got some 3s. There's a few other people out there who have said hello but haven't told me their score. Are you being shy? Come on. Let's press on, see how we get on. I want everybody's scores at the end, okay? I think, what should we say? Commendations for 10 or more. So a big challenge on there. If you've got 3, you need to get 7 out of 10 last round. Commendations and headmasters commendations and prizes for the winners, right? Okay. Yeah, 3 is a solid score. You're right, Tessa and Michaela. And Ms. Williams, 5. Not her best week. But do you know what? It's still great to take part, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, you got to get 7 out of 10, Tessa, on the next 10. Don't say I don't challenge you. It's all about the challenge, okay? It's about getting better every week. Here we go. This is sci-fi in the US. Okay, in Star Trek, who is the captain of the Starship Enterprise? In Star Trek, who is the captain of the Starship Enterprise? Okay, so that's question 11. Question 12. What is the name of the FBI special agents in The X-Files, played by Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny? You first name's great, but you just need the surname. So what's the surnames of the 2 special agents in The X-Files? Question 3. Which Star Trek? The original Star Trek. Joe. Yeah. But when it's the Enterprise, when it's the original, I know there are so many kind of spin-offs and different ways it goes. And yeah, but the Starship Enterprise, the original Starship Enterprise in the original Star Trek, that should be enough, I hope, for you. I'm looking for the original captain. My favorite. Okay. In which series in 2004 saw an ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons? This is a toughie. It's an American. It's one of the ones I've mentioned. So you can have a guess at any of the ones I've mentioned this week that hasn't come up so far. It's a series started in 2004. It's had a movie since. It has a movie. They tried to update it, but didn't really work so well. An ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons. Question 14. No offense, but when you get 10 out of 10, that's a fairly good score. Absolutely, Tessa. But what I'm looking for is 10 out of 20. Okay, so you got 3 in the first round. So I'm looking in the first 2 rounds. I'm looking for you to get 7. It's tough, right? It was in the 80s as well. Okay, please. Absolutely, yeah. 80s, 2004, had a movie. Didn't quite, but it's the Colonials and the Cylons. So if you know that, then you absolutely know your stuff and you'll know the answer to this. So Tessa, no, you don't need to get 10 out of 10 in this round. Don't worry, you need to get 7 out of 10, which is a bit of a challenge to add to your 3 out of 10. I'm looking for 10 out of 20 overall. Okay, now this is another sci-fi hit that I've not mentioned this week. I couldn't quite find the way of working it in. I love the show though, big fan. What is the name of the parallel world in Stranger Things? What is it called? What do they call the parallel world in Stranger Things? And now question 15, and this is a real gimme. If you know question 11, or you even heard question 11, you'll know question 15, okay? In chronological order in the world of Star Trek, which series comes first? Star Trek what? Because you get Star Trek Discovery and other, what's the first one? It's Star Trek. Okay, it's the first chronological order. And if you heard the first question, you'll know the answer. The first question to this section. Okay, so it's who was the captain of the Starship Enterprise in Star Trek, Who are the FBI special agents in the X-Files? What are their character names? Surnames only will be fine. Which series in the 80s and 2004 had an ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons? What is the name of the parallel world in Stranger Things? And in chronological order, what is the first, which TV series for Star Trek comes first? Star Trek what? Okay, question 16. Unless anybody wants any repeated. If I start, and if you need it, I'll kind of cut back if you drop me a comment. Okay, drop me a comment. I'm still perturbed by the fact there's 17 people watching, which is like 17 teams of so many people, but only 8 likes. So the other 9 are reserving their likes until the end of the quiz. And they'll go, no, I didn't like that one so much. I preferred last week's. Doesn't get a like. Okay. Here we go. 16. Which extraterrestrial race is known for the word exterminate? Number 13, please. Absolutely. 13, Joe, is which series in 2004, but OK Plays was right. It kind of kicked off in the 80s. Saw an ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons. And it's one I mentioned, it was one of my Baker's Dozen, I think, from best sci-fi TV shows. So it'll be in that group, and I haven't mentioned it anywhere else. There you go. So there's as much of a clue as you're getting. Which extraterrestrial race, question 16, is known for the word exterminate? And in our youth, we all said about this race, how do they get upstairs? And then in the modern age, we saw they float. That was quite a reveal. Question 17. In Star Wars, the villain, Darth Sidious, that's his Darth name. What's his real name? I've mentioned this guy once during my videos, but I have mentioned them in previous videos. Okay. In Star Wars, the villain, Darth Sidious, what's his real name? I'll be happy if you get the main name if you don't know it all, but or get something approximating to it. Okay, back to Star Trek. Question 18. Which Star Trek superhuman villain controlled more than a quarter of the Earth during the eugenics wars of the 1990s? Now, this was my favorite Star Trek movie. Okay, he got very angry, very what would you say? Very, very wrathful. Okay, which Star Trek superhuman villain? And I don't want that word. I want the other word. I want the surname. Okay, a bit like a cricketer. Okay, which Star Trek superhuman villain controlled more than a quarter of the Earth during the eugenics wars of the 1990s? 17 for Tess. Okay, in Star Wars, the villain Darth Sidious, what's his real name? So Darth Sidious, not Darth Vader, Darth Sidious. What's his real name? Question 19. Which eponymous villain, eponymous as in his name is the title of the movie, is a cyborg assassin played by Arnold Schwarzenegger? What's the name of the cyborg assassin that also gives his name to the movie? And finally, question 20, the last sci-fi villain. The actor Hugo Weaving plays the main antagonist in The Matrix. I think Matrix 1, 2, 3, and indeed 4. Is there 4? I think there is 4. This is when it all goes ballistic. What's the character? Who's the villain? So the actor Hugo Weaving plays the main antagonist in the Matrix movies. What's the name of the character? Okay, any others repeated? Or we'll go back to number 11, start giving some answers. 4 is coming out soon. Is that what it is? I knew I'd seen 4 somewhere. I thought, I'm sure I've only watched 3, but I've heard about 4. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. Just start the same old people. Keanu Reeves making a comeback. Can I say the guy with the sunglasses? You're on the right track there, Tessa. Keep thinking about it. I did mention him in my villains. You quickly watch back on that. Might end up giving you half a mark. Let's see where we get to. I always try and be generous. You know me. Now, Joe, I think I gave you 13 again, but let me just check because Tessa's just brought it up again. Let's just see. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, which series in 2004 and the 80s, as pointed out by OK Plays, saw an ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons. Am I thinking that OK Plays is Ollie? I think it is, isn't it? Sorry, Ollie, I just keep calling you by your handle rather than by your name. Ollie, it's good to see you too. Let's go. Don't worry. It's all good. Let's go through the answers. Everyone ready? Question 11. In Star Trek, the original captain, James T. Kirk. Now, if you say Captain Kirk, you can have it. If you say James Kirk, you can have it. But what I'm looking for in my heart of hearts is James T. Kirk, the original captain, right? So there we are, James T. Kirk. The special agents are Fox, Mulder, and Dana Scully. But you can have Mulder and Scully. And don't worry about how you spell them as long as you know that it is what you meant. Okay, so Rhea's in, just came. Okay, enjoy it. We'll go through the answers, sorry. But hopefully you can enjoy anything. I would have known that. Okay. 2 points for getting the T. Let's say if you finish under 20, which you may not, Ollie, you may get 20 out of 20. But if you don't, you can have a bonus to see if that'll take you up. So I'm not making out 20. You know, Gemma's going to say, well, it's out of 21 now, isn't it? I know what Gemma's going to say. I suppose you're right, Gemma, in a sense. So, yeah, maybe. But if you get 20, I don't want you getting 21. That's just rubbing it in. James T. Kirk is the same as the evil Emperor Zurg, right? I think you might find that's Toy Story and Buzz Lightyear's nemesis. Exactly, Michelle. Catatonia, Mulder and Scully. If you know the Catatonia song, you'll know the two FBI agents. Absolutely spot on. Here we go. The ongoing battle between the Colonials and the Cylons. It was in Battlestar Galactica. So you probably only get that one if you have watched the videos or you're a fan anyway. That's a tough one to get, I think. So Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I blame your 6-year-old brother as well, Tessa. You know, who wouldn't? You know. So here we go. The parallel world from Stranger Things is called the Upside Down, and you'll know this if you've ever seen the Lego creation of Stranger Things. They have the upside down. They have it on the flip side. So rather than it being out there in some parallel universe, it's actually underneath. Okay, so it's the upside down. Here we go. And 15, in chronological order, and this was a bit of a gimme from the first question, which television series comes first with Star Trek? It is Star Trek Enterprise. There we go. Johnny has the Lego upside down. Well done. I like that. I'm kind of hoping for some Lego for Father's Day. What do you think? Johnny will know. You'll know what they bought me. I maybe not. Maybe I'll get something even better, and then I can buy my own Lego. Why not? Here we go. Question 16. The extraterrestrial race for the word who are known for the word exterminate. That's the Daleks, who never could get upstairs. We often just used to tell Doctor Who when we were young, run up or down some stairs, they'll just fall over. But in the modern age, they solved that problem by they could levitate. I said float earlier, didn't I? That's not a very sci-fi word. Levitation. It's a much better word. Here we go. The Star Wars villain Darth Sidious is called, let me see if I get his pronunciation right, Sheev Palpatine. Sheev Palpatine. Have I pronounced that correctly? Johnny and others will correct me if I haven't. But I think it's Sheev Palpatine. And anybody who's got Palpatine or anything like that, you can have a half. But if you got both, that's your mark. No bonuses for getting, but I'll give you a half if you're close. The Star Trek superhuman, Palpatine, sorry. Thank you, Johnny. Sheev Palpatine. There we go. Thank you very much. I should listen more closely in future. The Star Trek superhuman villain who controlled a quarter of the Earth during the eugenics wars of the 1990s was Khan, as in the Wrath of Khan, as spelt such as Imran Khan. So it's Khan we're looking for. The title villain, the cyborg assassin played by Schwarzenegger, is the Terminator, or Senator Palpatine. Indeed, you can have Senator Palpatine. You're a nerd, Johnny, but we love you for it because nerds and geeks are cool. That's what we love. You know, yeah. Grammar schools, it's all about, it's cool to be clever. That's what it's all about. We love nerds and geeks. If we weren't, we wouldn't be doing this quiz, right? Or Emperor. Okay, we can have Senator Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, Sheev Palpatine. If you got the Palpatine, fine, you can have it. You got it. Okay, Terminator is 19, and Hugo Weaving plays Agent Smith. Bow ties are indeed cool, Tessa, as Matt Smith would say. Agent Smith. So, how many did we get out of 20? I've got a pen this week. I'm going to make a note. Let's say, yeah, top prizes for whoever wins, obviously, for anybody who gets 20 out of 20, or Gemma will tell you it's out of 21. She's probably quite right. And anyone who gets 10 or more is still doing well, and I'll be able to throw out a little commendation or something. So where are we? Johnny, 18. Izzy, 19. Nelson, 12. Mr. C, 16. These are big scores. I thought this was tough this week. I thought it was really tough. Guy with sunglasses, Agent something. You can have a half mark for Agent something because that sounds a little bit like Agent Smith, and glasses, yeah, he wears them. So definitely half for that test. Gemma, 11. So you got over 10. Well done, Gemma. You met my challenge. Ollie, 18. Wow. Joe, 19. Ms. Williams, 12. Met the challenge, got over 10. Izzy and Adrian got 19. Fantastic scores. Michaela, 7. Oh, but do you know what? You kept going right till the end. I'm absolutely delighted and really proud of you to keep going with that. Izzy, technically 20 because you've got the T in James T. Kirk. So, okay, take the 20. Take the 20. Absolutely. And Michaela was on her own. So if you had a partner, Michaela, you could double that score, or at least add 50% on, right? Tessa, a fabulous 4.5, but some weeks you win, some weeks you lose. Tessa, we know it goes like that. And you've had your big weeks. This was a tough one for you. But there's some fantastic scores in there. I want to thank you all for taking part, putting up with me with my fez and my bow tie and my Tom Baker scarf, not Colin Baker, for joining me on a Friday afternoon for the quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to draw this down. Wait, I'm always alone. Do I add 50%? It depends whether it's a good week or a bad week, Tessa. If it's a bad week, definitely add 50%. Yeah, absolutely. So 4.5. I think you and Michaela will finish on joints. Although, Michaela, are you on your own as well? You're going to add 50%. I mean, who knows? Where will this end? I'll end up giving everyone full marks. I'm just a generous spirit, a kind-hearted headmaster. Who knows where this will end? Everybody will do well. Didn't you all do well, as they say? Give everyone an A star. But thank you for joining me. It's been great fun as ever. I really enjoy kind of spending time with you over the videos and getting involved with all the chat. Hope you enjoy the morning videos, and the quiz is a bit of light relief for you, apart from anything else. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep looking after yourselves and your families and your friends. And I'll see you all on Monday for next week's theme. A little bit of surprise what that's going to be. That doesn't just mean I don't know. It means I've got 2 ideas and I haven't settled on the one yet. But I'll see you then. Until then, Headmaster out.